this is Stephanie Pickard. I'm here with Guitar Control TV, and we are going to learn how to play the solo to My Guitar Gently Weeps. So, while my guitar gently weeps. So let's go ahead and get started. If you are on Facebook or YouTube, please say hello. If you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel already, make sure you do so. There are free videos up every day for myself and others, covering all different topics that you guys have sent in, and from anything. So we really appreciate you guys sending those in. Keep sending them in. You know, anything from technique to songs to covers to whatever you can think of in any genre. So say hi if you can hear me, and I'm going to walk you through this awesome solo. I also highly suggest that you use this as a jam track. I found a really cool backing track I was playing along to on YouTube that I really enjoyed. So I think this is a really fun one. You can have a lot of fun with those phrases. So I just start with the... You know, when I was jamming, I was making like all sorts of things in it. Like when I was jamming, I kind of tried to take it into different places. Probably a little bit more metal than the Beatles. But anyway, I would highly recommend that. I'm going to walk you through this step by step. We'll do about 30 minutes of lesson and then a 15-minute Q&A. So feel free to ask me questions. Say hi if you can see me, and we will get started. Hi, Zach. Hi, okay, whatever. That's their username. So that sounded rude. That's their username. All right, and Facebook, when you can see me, please let me know. So I really love, I've talked about these kind of bends before. I love those bends where you kind of start raised and you drop into them. So that's how this one starts. It starts with this, or you go very quickly up. So it's either really fast, or you kind of start and drop into it. So I am in standard tuning. I'm on the 14th fret, 3rd string. So if you are following along at home, grab your guitars. If you are playing along, let me know. I think that's really cool. Hi, Roger. Horns up. Hi, James. Thank you so much. Hi, Raymond. Awesome. Nice to see you guys. All right. So this one's really fun. I probably put a bit more vibrato on it than the Beatles, but I think it's fun. So you can do your own too. And I do always suggest that too. When we are learning covers or we are learning anything, try and make it your own, because that's really what makes it fun and what makes you learn stuff. So kind of putting yourself out of your comfort zone and changing. Hi, Jared. Good morning. You guys are all in different time zones. That is so cool. We're all over the place. All right, so let's get started on that first phrase. So grab your guitars if you can. Standard tuning for this one. So I'm going to start, again, on the 14th fret, 3rd string, and I'm dropping into that bend. I like to drop into it. And you can either kind of kill your volume, so I always highly suggest you work on being fast with your volume switch too, because, you know, it feeds back. So even the normal palm muting, though, doesn't kill that. So, you know, whenever you do a phrase, I always like to end really clean and tight by just turning off my volume. So I think that's something really good to get good at, or even just pulling it up while the rest of the band's starting. So if the rest of the band was playing, I'm pulling it up. And then dropping in. And this is really, this song just evokes emotion. So you know how it says, while my guitar gently weeps, I try when I play this to really think about that and put that into my guitar playing. So make it really sad and make all those bends and everything really count. That's what I like to do, at least. So, you know, I think that's what separates a lot of guitar players too. Oh, hi, Chris. I'm glad. I liked this one a lot too, actually. I thought this was a really cool one. And there's another solo suggestion that you guys asked for that will be on Thursday. So I'll do that one Thursday. Cool. All right, so drop into that bend. Right, and everything is really exaggerated in this one. A Whole Lot of Love's kind of like that too. If you've played that song before, I really like that too. So really dropping in. Same string, hammer on, 12 to 14. So just pointer to ring. Then I'm gonna kind of bend actually on the 14th fret after. So I go. So. And it's just kind of a really cool phrase. So again, 14, dropping into that. Hammer on. Bend, sorry, 13 on the 2nd string, but it's also a little bend, and then 15, bend again, and then 13, 2nd string, 14, 3rd string. So all together. Yeah, don't forget to bend that 14 right after. It's kind of weird to think about, but it's kind of what makes this one really special. So I go drop into my bend, then I go hammer on, bend, then I kind of kill it with my hand. I mute it so that it's not really ringing out a lot. And then 13 on the second string, but a little bend, 15, 13, just pick it, 14 on the third string. All right, if you guys have your guitars, let me know if you're playing along. Hi, Michael. Good morning. I love that first lick. I think it's really cool. Metallica rules. Yes, they do. This has nothing to do with Metallica, but they do rule. All right, so grab your guitars and let's check this one out. Cool. And just really getting all those things to ring out and sound really cool. So dropping, but bend there. Awesome. So then we do this kind of longer held out phrase where they just go. So I just, again, hammer on, then I bend up 1.5 steps, and then again, and then back down. So I kind of exaggerate the second bend because I don't come back down, so I actually just go a little bit higher. So I kind of just do 1 and then 1.5. But you can do whatever you want. So I go. They don't do that extra hammer on, but I just kind of like it. You don't have to do it though. Cool, but let me. Oh, thanks, Ricky. All right, so yes, standard tuning, Edward. All right, so that's not the only lick. It's the beginning of a solo. So if you just tuned in, someone was asking why I just showed one lick. It's just the first lick of the solo. Okay, so check that out. Let me know that you guys got it. Grab your guitars. We do that second one again, so twice in a row. So this is also about the format of this solo. So we start with one phrase, then we repeat the next. And you'll hear it. This solo, it's not super long, but it's really, really cool. And I like how it is structured because there is a lot to it. So make sure that you are following along. I'm following along too and making sure that I'm reading it to you guys right. So telling you the exact structure. So again, grab that jam track if you can too. Hi Richard. Yes, can you hear me? Hopefully you can see me. Someone asked if this is still live. It's supposed to be, so I really hope that it is. It is for me, so let me know if it is for you. Okay, let's see. YouTube. If you're on YouTube, say hi. Okay, Jared's saying that he's having a little bit of trouble. I think you're saying that when you're bending, you're just putting your thumb way over. That does help. Cool. All right, let's go back to that lick. I'm glad that that one's working out for you, though. Okay, so let's check that out. Make sure you guys can see me all right. Cool. All right. And then, of course, if you have any questions while we're playing along, feel free to ask me. Okay, so, again. We hold it out, and it holds actually over an entire another measure, and then we do it again. And then it comes in on the next measure. It doesn't hold out the entire time. It holds over 3 beats. And then on the last 2 eighth notes, we go our hammer on. So this has definitely a theme to it. Bend it again, and then go straight to bending 15. So again, it goes. So we go into our next section right here. So I did my same lick, same lick, same lick. Then at those last 2 eighth notes, hammer on, 12 to 13 on the G string, the 3rd string. And then I'm going to go ahead and bend my 14 like I keep doing, that very dreamy 1.5 step bend. Then I go straight to a full step bend on 15 to 13. So actually I went to 12, sorry. So 13, and then back to 15, and then pinky right under. So I like those licks a lot. You'll see those in a lot of blues and even some metal or like kind of more southern rock. You'll see the... So if you're really into pentatonic scales and stuff too, those are always really cool. I like those. So all I'm doing is putting the pinky right under. So I'm bending 15 on the second string and then pinky on the first string. All right, let me check in on you guys. Let me know how you're doing, if you're following along, if it's all making sense. Cool, Richard. Yep. Awesome. Cool. All right, so let's go ahead and grab that. This is a really cool solo, so thank you guys for sending these topics in. Again, if you have a topic that you want to go over, please feel free to send it in. Check us out on YouTube, follow along. We have new videos seriously every day, so make sure you check those out. All right, so we did our first few licks after our 2 big dreamy bends. Right, we did that first one. Hold it over. And then... So 15, 13, 15, pinky under on the first string, bend again 15, pick 15, then pick 13. So let's try that again. So... And then all quarter notes, when we go to that 13, that's the beginning of its own measure. So we go 13, and then we bend 15, 15, 15. So all on the first string. So this part's kind of weird when you're first hearing it because it's several bends in a row, and some of them are the dropping bends and some of them are just normal bends. But it's really cool how dreamy this is. So remember, we are invoking a lot of emotion in this one. So from the beginning, we have our... So that's where we are right now. So we got to our 15, bend, pick under, bring it back down, 13, and it actually picks it once after that, so. So that one measure is just 13 with my pointer on the second string. Yeah, 13th fret, and then I'm gonna bend 15, 15, 15 on the first string, and just a whole step. So bend that, and then bend again, but then the next bend we drop down, and then up and down. So it's a lot, right? So we go. And then into 12. So make sure you are following along carefully to this one. Do I ever use a looper pedal? I do sometimes. I don't have mine on right now. The way that the audio works by making these go through YouTube and Facebook at the same time makes things kind of complicated. But I have that one looper pedal. I bought the that red Roland one that Ed Sheeran uses. Because I thought that was really cool. But yeah, I would love to do that. That's an ESP. Thank you, Richard. Thank you. It is an ESP. It does, it kind of looks, I can see where you got it confused, but it's definitely an ESP. All right, cool. So if you're following along to those bends, I know it's kind of weird. You're in California. How come you are not tan? I'm not in California, but I'm also not tan. So that was half true. Okay, so let's go ahead and see this. All right, so after that bend, let's check this out. So 13. And it goes more into those pinky licks. So this is kind of a theme here. And what they're doing is they're kind of repeating the same idea, but they're changing it up a bit, and that's what makes it really interesting. So when you're writing your own solos, try and think of that. They're not just doing the same lick over and over again. They're doing similar licks, but they're doing variations. So it's kind of all going off of each other, but keeping a similar theme. All right, so 13, 15, 15, 15, 15, then bring it down, bring it up and down, 12 on the first string, full bend, bring it down, and then, so we go bend, 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 bring it down, right? So up, down, down and up, 12, 15, 15, and then just like that. So that lick was when we came to 12 on the first string, then I bent on the second string 15, pinky under on the first string 15th fret, and then I brought it back down 13 on the second string to 15, bend, 15 on the first string, back down. I know that's a lot to follow, so I'll do it a couple times slow so it makes sense. And that 15 down is just going to lead into a 13 on the second string. So let's try that again really slow. So starting, I'll show you those, it's 5 measures. So I'll show you these 5 measures in a row. 13, 15, 15, 15. Remember those were quarter notes, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then bend, bring it down, bring it up and down, 12, 15, pinky under, 15 down, 13, 15 to 13. So one more time. And then just a 14. And that's either that dropping or really quick. So a lot of attitude on that one. And again, I cannot emphasize enough how important I think vibrato is. So make sure if you are playing along, you are putting a lot of feel and emotion into your vibrato, because that is going to set you apart from other guitar players. It's just the way we can express ourselves. Oh, awesome, Jared. That's cool. He said that was the one he was trying to find. Yeah, actually, I think you are right. I think it is the Boss RC3. I haven't used it in a while, but I should use it. I do think it's cool. I use mostly Axe effects, so I don't use a ton of pedals anymore, but it is one that I have. The hard for you to put your pinky under. The higher up, it might be a little easier. I think the higher up you go. Oh, I guess all right. ZXCCXZ164 is saying that the higher up on the fretboard, the harder to put your pinky under. It's just because the frets get smaller themselves, but I think the more and more you play, the easier it gets. So I would definitely try and play a ton, because I think it gets easier and easier and easier. Yes, Richard, vibrato is the soul. Raymond, when am I going to release my music? I wanted to release it on my birthday on Monday, but I think I can either only do a small snippet or I should wait. I gotta wait and release it the right way, but soon. I've been working on it, so I'm really excited. But this has been kind of a crazy month for me. I'm getting married in like a month, so it's been crazy, but I have been writing a lot and I can't wait. Nice. Carrie King Marshall, pretty cool. That's very cool. I've just, once I started recording more and switched over to Axe Effects, I just use it all the time. Thank you, Raymond. All right, let's see. Cool. So if you have any questions, please ask them. Let's keep on going with this solo. So cool. And thank you for all the people that are sending them in. That's awesome. All right, so after we come out of that bend, 13, a lot of vibrato. Then I do 14 on the third string, but it's really that same thing. So remember, this is kind of our theme. We drop in, and how I make that quiet is I kind of just touch the guitar, so I karate chop it to mute it with my picking hand. So 14, 12, 14, bend it up, and then another one. Then on the fourth string, hammer on 12, 14, drop pointer down to 12 on the third string, so, and then slide back. And if you're having trouble with any of these licks too, I always like to break things down and do them in sections. So don't just keep repeating. Try and take the problem area and just slow it down and do it a few times, and it'll be really easy. So the lick right after, we go to the fourth string, 12, hammer on, 14, drop our pointer, and it's really important to use the right fingers and kind of assign a finger fret, because it makes everything just smooth and clean. All right, so 12 on the third string with our pointer, back to 14, and then I'm actually going to slide it down. So we talked about this too before, but depending on whatever level you're at, a slide is just when we have our finger down and push it over. Thank you, James. That's really cool. Thank you, Richard. All right. Let's see. What are the scales that I am using? You know, I'm messing around with a little bit of I don't know, familiarity between, I guess, A and E positions, but really you're going to use a little tiny bit of harmonic minor and a little bit of the Dorian scale. All right. I mean, it is an A minor, but you can kind of mess around with those. So I kind of mess around with the whole A minor idea and then the A minor position here. But you can also kind of bring in those other elements. All right. Okay, let's check out this. Sorry, I'm switching between the two different platforms. Cool. How do I like the orange amp? I don't actually use the orange amps, but I'm sure that they are amazing. They are my fiance's. I use this Mesa Boogie Road King cab, and then I have my Matrix GT 1000 FX as my power amp, and I use Axe FX as my preamp. Okay, so let me see how you're doing YouTube. Like this. Okay, that's a funny question. Jim is saying, when you're practicing something like this and you either screw up or you get an idea in your head that goes off from it and it sounds really cool, how do you remember it? Video or tab or what? I like videos because or audio recordings. I use my phone a lot, so I'll always just kind of press record and then do that. Tabs, I'll get too distracted and then I won't get back to it. I mean, you can do them really quick, but I usually just do that. But that is a good question. You can always also just set it up to record before and jam on it, but I would highly recommend checking out the jam track for this. I think it's really cool. Thank you, Kim. Yeah, I think it's really fun. And again, please do your own thing when you're learning these things. Does he use an ESP also? Because I do. He does. He's sponsored by ESP. So we have a lot of ESPs going around. I got this ESP from his guitar rep because he introduced us. It was the most guitar story ever. Love story ever. Okay, cool. But yes, ESPs are awesome. All right, so we are almost done with this. I'm actually going to give you guys, while we were on the subject of talking about playing from your heart, and I was trying to encourage you to not just play like somebody else, I'm going to give you a discount code for hanging out with me today. So this is for our Killer Guitar Control Secrets, and it is all about playing from your heart and playing like the best you. So how did Jimi Hendrix become Jimi Hendrix? It's more the idea of how to become a better player, or the player you want to be, better said. So it's just about being you. It's not about being anybody else. It's about the idea of how to get that. Like how does a guitar hero become a guitar hero? So this is going to cover 3 things. Here it is for both you guys. So it's going to cover 3 things. It's going to cover technique, which is all the things that we kind of do. It's our hand position, you know, like making sure everything's good. When someone says you have good technique, they're probably talking about your wrist and everything, but it can also be, techniques can be how we color notes. You know, like the vibratos and all that stuff. And then, what kind of speakers are in your cab? Celestian. Okay, so, sorry, it's distracting when all the comments are coming up. And then we're going to do fretboard knowledge. So that's the chords, the arpeggios, the scales, and then hand-brain connection. So getting what's in your head out of your hands. So make sure you check this out. Oh, that's awesome. Got a lot of ESP users up here. That's cool. I love my ESP too. Oh, thank you, Richard. All right, so let's finish up this solo. Check out that DVD. Follow us on YouTube if you haven't already. YouTube.com/Guitar Control for tons of free videos every day. So make sure you check that out. Okay. And I'll be back here Thursday with another topic. Okay, so we got to that 13 where we were holding it out after we did our bends. So we had our, 13, 15. Then I'm going to go 14. Oh, sorry. Same thing, right? And then another 1.5 step bend. So I go 14, hammer on 12 to 14, all on the 3rd string, and then I bend it up while I'm doing that, and then again a quick up and down bend into our next lick. So, and then I go 12, 14, hammer on, 12 on, so that was on the 4th string, and a hammer on, so we pick once and slap the other note down, drop my pointer down to the 3rd string, 12th fret, 14, and then we were talking about slide, so I push it. You do not not lifted up, so that's how you keep that sustain. So, and then 2 12, so it goes 12, 14, drop, 12, back, 14, slide to 12, and then 10, 12, 10, 12, 10. So ready? And then the last lick. So awesome, that actually gets us pretty much right in time. So let's see how you're all doing. Cool. Awesome. Oh no, James just broke a string. I hate that. Sorry. It's the worst. But then you get new strings. Awesome, thanks Jared. Alright, let's see. Okay, so our last lick. So hopefully you guys are following along and enjoying this solo. Again, I would definitely take this solo and go make it your own. I think that is always the coolest thing to do, and try to learn from this structure and this idea of having an overall theme. That's what I really get from this one, is those big, big bends, those big 1.5 step bends and the big drops. It adds a lot of feel and emotion. So, you know, think about how lyrically there's what they're singing about and what they're playing. All right, so our very last lick, we're going to start on the 4th string, hammer on 12 to 14. So we just came from, so just right back in there. So I use my 3rd finger, 3rd finger, 12th fret to 10, 12, 10. So going from ring, pointer. Then I move my pointer over to the 12th fret, so I replace where my ring finger was. 12, 14, 12, 14, 14, slide to 17. So 12, 14 is on the 4th string, right? Then I drop to the 3rd string, 12, 14, pick 14, slide to 17, pick 17, slide to 19, all on the 3rd string. So I go. So that's a really cool lick. I love slides. I love all on one string, just doing that. I think it's so cool. To kind of slide out of position. I think slides are a really cool thing to add into your playing too. I think they're kind of underused. So ready? And then we bend 19, 17, but I'm barring like that famous lick you probably heard a million times. But we're not going to exactly do that, so I bend, but I'm barring that way. So 19 is my bend on the 3rd string, barring the 17th fret. I go 17 by itself on the 2nd string, then I pick both of them like a little double stop. So I go. So make sure you try that. So I had, I missed that little double stop. There you go. So make sure you have that. All right, and then our very, very last thing on the 20th fret, we're just gonna go. So I bend up, drop my bend, and then one last bend. So we go. So, and then that's it. So that last lick again. And that's it. That is the entire solo. So that probably actually brings us right to our time. Awesome. So now we'll do Q&A. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask me. Nice. Oh no, I haven't tried those. Some people on Facebook are talking about different strings. All right. So let's see. Another great lick. Awesome. Oh, I know the live streams go by faster because our other lessons have tabs and these ones go by pretty fast. So I'm sorry that it doesn't have all of them. But that lick is very cool. And try and make it your own. Yeah, of course, James. You're welcome. You're very welcome. All right, so feel free to ask me some questions. That was our lesson on how to play While My Guitar Gently Weeps, the solo arrangement for the Beatles. So what I want you to walk away with, what I want you to walk away from this with is kind of thinking about the theme that they kind of invoked in that solo, taking some of these licks and making them your own, even if it's just going, oh, I really liked that slide, or I really liked that huge bend, or I liked how they kind of came back to this phrase several times. Think about that, or how they even made little alterations on it. So I'm going to give you that discount code one more time. So thank you so much for hanging out with me today. There it is. This is our killer guitar control secret. So all about playing from your heart and being the guitar player that you want to be, not sound like anybody else. And I've said this before, and I will say it again a million times, but this is something that is not your everyday lesson. It's not something that you find in a magazine or you see really anywhere else. So usually people are always trying to tell you, like even in this lesson, it's how to play something by somebody else. This is how to get the music in your head out of your hands. So make sure you check this out. All right, so looks like there are some questions on YouTube. And YouTube also, if you are leaving comments about anything that you want us to go over, you want me to do in a video, you want to wind up on the Guitar Control YouTube channel, make sure you leave it again when this goes live on our YouTube. Bye, Raymond. Okay, so let's see. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Pirate Brain. Of course, Martin. Awesome. Thank you, Jared. I really appreciate that. Let's see. What gauge strings do I use and what brand? I have been using GHS lately. So I switch between D'Addario and GHS from time to time, and I use 10s unless I'm dropping. So whenever you drop a whole step, you're also going to go up a gauge in strings because otherwise they get way too loose. So they always feel a gauge lighter. So if you have 10s and you drop, a whole step, it's going to feel like 9s, and that's not too bad. But if you were to drop 2 steps, it wouldn't be so great. So I use 10s because it's kind of a happy medium, but when I do drop a tuning, I go up. So I would use 11s. If I went up 2 steps, I use 12. So, or I went down 2 steps, I use 12. So that's what I do. But I like 10s because I feel like they don't lose tone. I used to use 9s, then I use the hybrid packs. I don't love the hybrid packs because I feel like they break easily, at least for me. But I like the 10s because they just have... I just like they have some good tone. But the one thing I do that is weird, that I think maybe I get asked this question a lot, I use... Can I play what song? It just said the song. So I use, oh, that's cool. Thank you. Yeah, it's a different lesson than I probably normally do. I use really heavy picks, so that is the one thing that is kind of weird. This is a little under a 2, but I usually use 2s, or this is probably like 1 point something, but I usually use 2.0s. So I use really, really thick picks. For me, they're just way easier. I just like them a lot better. Yeah, of course. I have trouble. A lot of videos don't explain enough. Pinch harmonics. Nobody explains pinch harmonics because pinch harmonics are really hard to explain. So I actually kind of learned them myself. I mean, I've studied with a lot of teachers, but the way that I learned was to just kind of go on my own and remember that your hand is very flush when you're doing this. So the pick and your thumb are touching, like everything. It's flush. It means it's just even, right? So when I hit that note, what makes that pinch harmonic is actually my thumb and the pick hitting. So and remember that they're going to sound different everywhere. Now I do them so much that I don't even really think about it. I think I'm always adjusting naturally. But when you're first starting out, just really make sure that it's flush and you mess around with that. So mess around with choking up, like, when someone's playing baseball, you choke up on a bat, you want to choke up on your pick. So you move like that. All right, so try that. Let's see. I'm going to switch to Facebook. Shredding is boring. Play something original. Some of those are my original things. I actually like a lot of shred stuff. I don't think shred is boring, but I do like it. That's an original thing I have. Let's see. I have a couple things, but I don't want to give away too many things. But yeah, I don't think shredding is boring. I love shredding. But I think people get weird about it. But if you add in stuff to it, it makes it really exciting. I mean, you don't want to just play like fast forever. does get boring, but if you can add things in. I think if you add in some stuff, it can be really cool. And there's a challenge to it, which is also really cool. All right, so let's check all of this out. Again, check out our DVD. If you guys have any more questions, I will answer them. I do. So, Mr. Pirate Brain, you came in right at the Q&A time. But it is, and it will be there. It'll be on YouTube. So, I didn't play the rhythm part of this song, just the solo and the licks, because that's what this song was supposed to be. All right. So, thank you guys so much for checking this out. I really appreciate it. If you are here on Thursday, I will be back with another solo that you guys sent in. So, I will show you that. So, make sure you check this out. Check this video out on our YouTube. Go to youtube.com/guitar control. And check me out on Thursday with a new song suggestion. So, I will see you guys then. Yeah, check out that link. Follow us on YouTube. And come back Thursday. All right. Thanks so much. Let's see this. All right, there we go.